The Atlantic Ocean is buzzing with activity as the heart of hurricane season brings a surge of energy to these vast waters. Each year, this time marks a period of heightened vigilance for meteorologists, coastal communities, and anyone with an eye on the weather. The skies are restless and the ocean's surface churns with anticipation, setting the stage for powerful storms to emerge. And now, all eyes are on the latest development: Tropical Storm Humberto. This swirling mass of clouds and wind has captured the attention of experts and the public alike, as it begins its journey across the Atlantic. Officially forming over open waters, Humberto is a textbook example of how quickly a tropical system can develop when conditions are just right. Its formation comes right at the peak of hurricane season, a time when the Atlantic is most likely to produce storms that can grow into major hurricanes. As of September 26, 2025, Humberto is spinning in the central Atlantic, far from the U.S. coast and not posing an immediate threat to land. Its current position means that for now, coastal residents can breathe a sigh of relief, but the situation can change rapidly. The storm is steadily moving northwest, lingering over warm ocean waters that act as fuel for its growth. These warm waters are like high-octane energy for tropical systems, allowing them to strengthen and sometimes intensify quickly. Humberto's winds are already strengthening, and meteorologists warn that the conditions in its path are ripe for further intensification. The combination of warm water, moist air, and low wind shear creates an environment where storms like Humberto can rapidly gain power. This isn't an isolated event. Right now, multiple systems are active across the Atlantic, making this a particularly busy and challenging period for forecasters. The hurricane season is living up to its reputation, with several storms vying for attention and resources. Even though Humberto is distant from land, it demands close monitoring. Storms can change course, intensify unexpectedly, or interact with other systems, so meteorologists are keeping a close watch on every update and model run. Most Atlantic storms, including Humberto, begin as disturbances off the coast of Africa. These tropical waves travel thousands of miles, and if the conditions are right, warm water, moist air, and favorable winds, they can organize quickly into powerful storms. That's why early detection and constant updates are crucial. Meteorologists use advanced satellites, computer models, and real-time data to track every movement, issuing alerts and forecasts to keep the public informed and prepared. Humberto's journey is just beginning, and it serves as a timely reminder for everyone living near the coast to stay alert and prepared during hurricane season. Even storms that seem distant can change course or intensify, so readiness is key. We'll be tracking Humberto's evolution closely, bringing you the latest updates on its path, strength, and what it could signal for the weeks ahead. Stay tuned as we follow this storm and the broader patterns shaping this active hurricane season. Forecasters are closely monitoring Humberto, a tropical storm that is showing signs of significant strengthening. Over the next several days, meteorologists expect Humberto to intensify rapidly, fueled by a combination of favorable atmospheric conditions and very warm ocean waters. This rapid development is a key concern for weather experts, as it could lead to a much more powerful storm in a short period of time. The current sea surface temperatures in Humberto's path are well above average for this time of year, providing ample energy for the storm to grow. These warm waters act like high-octane fuel, potentially pushing Humberto to reach hurricane status as soon as tomorrow. The combination of low wind shear and abundant moisture in the atmosphere further increases the likelihood of rapid intensification. There's even a possibility that Humberto could undergo what meteorologists call explosive intensification, where wind speeds increase dramatically in just a matter of hours. If this happens, the storm could quickly escalate from a tropical storm to a major hurricane, catching some communities off guard if they're not prepared. According to the latest computer models, the forecast track keeps Humberto well offshore, steering it on a path between Bermuda and the U.S. mainland. This projected route means that the storm is unlikely to make direct landfall on the east coast, sparing coastal cities from the worst of its winds and rain. While this is reassuring news for residents along the east coast, it's important to remember that Humberto's large size means its effects will still be felt over a wide area. Even storms that remain far out at sea can have significant impacts on coastal communities. Humberto's powerful winds will generate large ocean swells that travel hundreds of miles, reaching beaches along the southeast coast. These swells can create dangerous surf conditions, including strong waves and hazardous rip currents that pose a threat to swimmers, surfers, and boaters alike. Local authorities are already issuing warnings, urging people to stay out of the water during periods of rough surf. Lifeguards are on high alert, watching for anyone who might underestimate the risks. Even experienced swimmers can be caught off guard by the strength of these currents. By early next week, Humberto could reach major hurricane status, Category 3 or higher on the Saffir-Simpson scale. This level of intensity brings sustained winds of at least 111 miles per hour, capable of causing significant damage to ships and coastal infrastructure if the storm's path shifts closer to land. Such a powerful storm poses a serious threat to shipping lanes across the Atlantic, with rough seas and high winds making navigation extremely hazardous. Marine warnings are in effect, and vessels are being advised to alter their routes or seek safe harbor until the storm passes. For the next several days, Humberto will remain a key feature on weather maps and in news reports. Meteorologists will continue to track its progress, providing frequent updates as new data becomes available and the forecast evolves. The journey of Humberto serves as a reminder that even storms far from shore can have real impacts on our daily lives. From beachgoers to shipping companies, many people will be watching closely as the storm develops and moves through the Atlantic. Stay tuned for the latest updates and safety information as the situation continues to evolve. Your awareness and preparation can make all the difference as Humberto's story unfolds. As meteorologists track the swirling clouds and shifting winds over the Atlantic, forecasting becomes even more challenging with the emergence of another system, Invest 94L, developing nearby. This new disturbance adds a layer of complexity to an already dynamic situation as it forms in close proximity to the existing storm, Humberto. The atmosphere becomes a stage for a dramatic interplay of forces, each system influencing the other in subtle and sometimes unpredictable ways. When two storms approach each other, they can engage in a rare meteorological phenomenon known as the Fujiwara effect. In this dance, the storms begin to rotate around a common center, their paths bending and twisting as they interact. Sometimes they may even merge or push each other onto new trajectories, making it difficult to predict where either storm will ultimately go. This interaction can lead to sudden changes in strength, speed, and direction, keeping forecasters on their toes. The ongoing dance between Humberto and Invest 94L injects a significant amount of uncertainty into the forecast for the coming week. With both systems influencing each other, the range of possible outcomes widens, making it harder to pinpoint which areas might be most at risk. Meteorologists must constantly update their models as new data comes in, watching for any signs that the storm's paths are shifting. Adding to the complexity, the powerful jet stream over the East Coast acts as a steering current for these storms. Depending on its position and strength, the jet stream could push the storms out to sea, sparing coastal communities, or it could guide them closer to land, increasing the threat of heavy rain, strong winds, and flooding. The interplay between the jet stream and the storms is a critical factor that forecasters monitor closely. To anticipate what might happen, meteorologists run multiple computer models, each simulating different scenarios based on the latest atmospheric data. These models can sometimes show widely varying outcomes, reflecting the uncertainty inherent in predicting complex weather systems. Some models may suggest a direct hit, while others show the storms veering harmlessly away. This is why forecasts can change rapidly from one update to the next. As new information becomes available, the models are adjusted and the projected paths may shift. It's a constantly evolving puzzle, with each piece of data helping to clarify the picture but never providing absolute certainty. For those living in potentially affected areas, the key is to remain vigilant and avoid focusing solely on a single projected path. The cone of uncertainty exists for a reason. Storms can and do change course, sometimes with little warning. Staying flexible and prepared is essential. It's important to prepare for a range of possibilities, even if some seem unlikely at first. Having emergency supplies ready, securing your home, and knowing your evacuation routes can make all the difference if the situation changes quickly. Preparation is not just about reacting to the most likely scenario, but being ready for any outcome. The situation is evolving hour by hour, and updates from the National Hurricane Center are crucial for staying informed. These official sources provide the most accurate and up-to-date information, helping you make the best decisions for your safety. Make sure to stay connected. Sign up for weather alerts, listen to local news, and keep an eye on official updates. Being informed allows you to respond quickly if conditions change. In the end, uncertainty is an unavoidable part of the forecasting process. but by staying aware, prepared, and informed, you give yourself the best possible defense against whatever these storms may bring. While Humberto draws attention, Hurricane Gabrielle is threatening Portugal's Azores Islands. Residents there are bracing for damaging winds, heavy rain, and coastal flooding. After the Azores, Gabrielle's remnants will move toward mainland Europe, bringing hazardous weather to Portugal and western Spain. Gabrielle's unusual path highlights how far-reaching Atlantic storms can be. Multiple active systems make this a challenging time for forecasters. Each storm influences the atmosphere, creating ripple effects across the ocean. Tracking several major storms at once is a true test for meteorologists. The Atlantic is highly active and the impacts are global. It's a busy, interconnected season for the weather community. Alongside Humberto and Gabrielle, Invest 94L is drawing close attention. This tropical wave is moving through the northern Caribbean, already bringing heavy rain and gusty winds to Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic. Flooding and disruptions are happening now as the system moves westward. There's a high chance Invest 94L will develop into a tropical depression or storm, possibly named Imelda. Its westward path could threaten the Bahamas and even the US in the coming days. Forecasters are monitoring it around the clock. The addition of this system makes the Atlantic weather map even more complex. Stay alert for rapid changes as this system evolves. The main concern for the US is the potential impact from Invest 94L, which could become Tropical Storm Imelda. Current models suggest North and South Carolina are most at risk for heavy rain and gusty winds early next week. Flooding is the biggest threat, especially if the storm moves slowly. The exact impact depends on the storm's track and speed, both of which are uncertain. The interaction between Humberto, Invest 94L, and the jet stream makes forecasting tricky. Residents along the southeast coast should monitor updates closely. Now is the time to review hurricane plans and stay prepared. The forecast will change. Don't let your guard down. Preparation and awareness are key to staying safe. Even with Humberto far offshore, its influence is already being felt along the coast. Large swells are reaching the northern Leeward Islands and will soon impact the U.S. East Coast. The biggest danger-strong, frequent rip currents that can pull swimmers out to sea. Beachgoers must heed lifeguard warnings and flag systems. If told to stay out, listen. High surf and rough seas will also make boating hazardous. Small craft advisories are likely. Even experienced mariners should use extreme caution or postpone trips. The ocean's power is deceptive. Sunny skies can hide dangerous currents. Always check local forecasts and never swim alone. Respect the power of distant storms. Stay safe if you're heading to the coast this weekend. Humberto Gabrielle and Invest 94L signal the peak of hurricane season. This period from mid-August to mid-October is when most storms form. The season runs until November 30th, so vigilance is still needed. Multiple active systems mean the weather pattern is dynamic and can change quickly. Warm waters and favorable conditions could spawn new threats at any time. Every season is different, but preparation is always essential. Now is the time to ensure you're ready for any storm. Stay alert and use official sources for updates. With so much activity, preparation is more important than ever. Have a hurricane plan, know your evacuation zone, and discuss it with your family. Assemble a disaster kit with food, water, medications, and important documents. Stay informed through official sources like the National Hurricane Center and local authorities. Don't spread or rely on rumors from social media. Even if a storm seems distant, its path can change. Never let your guard down. Preparation reduces anxiety and keeps you safe. Take action now, and you'll be ready for whatever the season brings.